Each bell go ringing them bells. Each bell go ringing them bells. I heard from heaven today.
The Lord sure shakes hands with this ground. We sticks the seeds in, and the crop comes out bigger and bigger every year. Do tell it, child.
Grab that there, boy. I need big boy. Son, you're gonna make a good cane cutter yet. Look at some more.
Do that, Spot. We have to get down by the sugar mill.
And have the best old time lapping up the drippings.
The drippings are the first cook-off.
Howdy, Luke.
Hiya, Sugar.
How you know I had sugar?
I didn't know you had it. I just thought it was kind of nice to call you Sugar.
Oh, you know, Ma's Timmy say we can get married next Sunday.
I was almost pining my heart away, waiting for that day.
I was pining too, Luke.
I'm ready now, Timothy, to give you an accounting for the year.
Hmm? Oh, well, finish your drink first.
Again, I must remind you of your improvidence. I'm not trying to run your life, Timothy, but facts are facts.
You've got your nose so buried in law books and accountants, my friend, that you're missing a little of the joy of living, aren't you?
Well, I may as well take my fee and go.
Now, don't be angry with me.
It ceases to be of any value to you when you won't listen.
Very well, Martin. I'll listen.
Good. $15 a month for the upkeep of a slave. Now, Timothy, you know that's absurd.
But my slaves work from sun up to sundown to give me the biggest crops in the parish. I have what I want. Isn't it better to have a little happiness for everybody instead of just sitting around thinking what you can make?
How are you going to accumulate?
I confess you are the most calculating man I ever knew.
You're a spendthrift.
Uncle Caden, my good friend Mr. Dill is scolding me again for my extravagance.
The Reeds always believed in plenty, Mr. Dill.
Yes, plenty, so I see. I simply can't understand your attitude, Timothy.
Martin, you could live down here another 20 years and still not understand it.
Pay me my fee and let me go.
You remember those horses I showed you over at...
Now, Timothy, you don't mean to say you bought more horses. Now, you know very well that I advised you that...
Oh, no, just a round dozen. Oh, you should see them. And one with a filly.
I must go.
Now, don't worry, Martin. You'll be paid.
Would it be presumptuous for your friend and lawyer to say, you are the most extravagant man in
Louisiana? Not at all, Martin. And would it be presumptuous of your friend and client to offer you a present?
Not at all, Timothy.
Bayou Laval's largest pumpkin.
Oh, thank you.
Caden, to the carriage with the pumpkin. Goodbye, Martin.
Goodbye, Timothy.
Forgive me if we don't always agree. And thank you.
Goodbye, Timothy.
Oh.
Goodbye, Timothy. I'm very sorry, my dear. It took me longer than I expected.
A dusty ride. all the way from New Orleans. And you bring back only a pumpkin. Will a pumpkin pay for my dressmaker?
But
Can I use a pumpkin for the opera?
But,
Will a pumpkin buy a rope of California gold you promised me? Or will a pumpkin buy a dinner at Papa Dudon's?
you shall have the dinner, my dear Pauline.
Yes. At least I'm welcome at Papa Dudon's. I'm not good enough to be presented to your dear friend, Mr. Reed. Am I? Am I?
Of course you are. You know you are. But this was business, my dear.
Business. All this wealth, and you bring back only a pumpkin. A pumpkin! A pumpkin!
I guess Mr. Dill would scold me a lot more if he knew I'd decided to put up the new cabins for you folks.
Oh, Master Timothy, Mr. Dill ain't gonna like that at all. No. You know, sometimes I wonder, Master Timothy, if Miss Reed was still living, how she feel about Mr. Dill saying this and that about the running of this plantation.
Oh, Mr. Dill has got to be dignified and important, as it befits a lawyer. Is it nearly time for the cane cutting?
Yes, sir.
Well, get the carriage, and on the way back, pick up Master Tim.
Yes, sir.
Not hot enough that time, Gumbo. Another peanut. One more.
I sure wish you'd hurry up and knock that bottle over pretty quick, Master Tim. Or these peanuts sure gonna give out.
There. All right, the rest are yours.
Master Timothy!
Here's that you done forgot about going to the cane dance.
Oh, no, I haven't. We've just been waiting for you.
Yeah, your papa waiting for you. Son, your mama say for you to come up to the big house and help her peel some potatoes for supper. Come on, come on, come on.
I think you did right well with those new horses you bought, Dad. You don't want the nurses in full.
More than I'd bargained for.
And you should see the little fella. She's going to develop a great canter after I'll break her.
You think you'll be able to do it, son?
He sure will. None of the Reeds ever had any trouble breaking horses, sir. Yes.
Master Timothy, you's leaving without your coat. It's going to be chilly down in them cane fields.
Thank you, Janie.
And I done brought yours too, Master Tim. I ain't going to have you to catch your death of dampness neither.
Thanks, Janie.
I don't know what Tim and I would do without you and Kate and look after us.
Excuse me, Master Timothy. Did you tell that boy Gumbo I want him to peel them potatoes?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Gumbo! You Gumbo!
We got this nice cause it's clean for sundown. To the cane, come on down. Won't be long now before we be dancing on this old cane drive.
Skittish, eh, Uncle Caden?
Sure, they're skittish. Did you hear that owl hoot, Master Timothy? Owl hoots in the daytime is sure bad luck.
All who nonsense.
Oh, them golden slippers. Oh, them golden slippers.
What you singing for, Uncle Caden?
Oh, nothing. I just sort of like to sing, Master Timothy.
Well, if you really want to drown out that hoot owl, Uncle Caden, we'll help you.
Do that?
My
golden slippers and my laid away kids who don't expect to wear 'em till my wedding day.
And my long-tailed coat that I love so well, I will wear up in the chariot in the morning.
And my long white robe that I bought last June, I'm going to get it changed case it fits too soon. And the old gray horse that I used to drive,
I will hitch you to the chariot in the morning.
Oh, them golden slippers.
Oh, them golden slippers I'm going to wear. Because they look so neat, I'll wear them. Oh, them golden slippers. Oh, them golden slippers I'm going to wear.
somewhere to walk the golden streets.
Did you know, son, the dancing in the harvest field is as old as the earth?
No, Dad. Did you know that, Uncle Keith?
No, sir.
Yes, sir. The peasants of ancient Greece danced when their crops were cut. The Africans have always done it. It was their way of giving thanks for the blessings of the earth, I reckon.
Is that so?
Here, Uncle Caden, go on. I'll fix that.
Yes. There he is, Master Tim. Chicken, peas, some of that plum jam. And corn for 'em. Red hot from the oven. Oh, boy, but eat. How you gonna grow up and take care of by a little valley you don't eat your lunch? Besides, you's the young master now.
Uncle Cake, and everything's so different around with Mr. Dill. He's so strict with everybody and...
Well, it's just the way. You see, Mr. Dill, he just don't understand the South. I expect when he gets to running the plantation for a while, everything's gonna turn out just like it used to be. But right now, he got to pay strict attention to business. Because under the will, he's the executioner.
I know, but...
Come on, boy.
We never even got the new cabins Master Reed promised us. And now we got to even get out the old ones. He gonna make a storehouse out of mine. No use splitting.
Sure wish we could run off and get married.
Don't talk silly, Luke. Fact is, I can't even talk to you no more.
Why, Lucy?
Mr. Cass say he'd flog me if he sees me say one more word to you.
Oh!
Master Tim! Master Tim, Mr. Cass is fixing to whip Luke. What? They's getting ready now. Excuse me, Mr. Dill.
Yes, Timothy?
Mr. Cass is going to whip Luke. Yes, sir, Mr. Dill. He sure is.
So?
I won't permit that.
Well, what if Luke deserves it?
But my father never whipped any of the slaves, did he, Uncle Cake?
Excuse me, Mr. Dill. I hope so. I ain't interfering too much, sir. But it's like Master Tim say. Master Reed ain't never whipped nobody. I'm obliged to tell you so, sir.
I won't let him do it. I'll forbid it.
No, Timothy, I must be fair with Mr. Cass. After all, I have delegated the handling of the slaves to him. He can do nothing if his authority is undermined.
Excuse me again, Mr. Dill. I know you're trying to do the best you can for Master Tim. I'm trying to do the best I can for him, too, sir. He ain't gonna get nowhere with no whipping, sir.
And who asked you what you think about it?
Excuse me, I was just trying to explain, sir.
You think you could run this plantation better?
Oh, no, sir. I don't think nothing like that, sir.
Then why do you interfere?
I ain't meaning to interfere, sir.
I think you've been on this plantation long enough. Bayou Lavelle can get along without you.
You ain't going to sell me, Mr. Dill.
My father never sold a slave.
Tie them horses with a loose rein. Don't hold them too tight.
Shh, I told you not to talk. You're deaf and dumb, do you hear?
Yes, sir, I am.
Goodbye, Uncle Cake.
Good morning, ma'am. Romany?
What do you mean, Romany?
Strange as you all is. I was just a chimney sweeper. Creole folks said Romany.
Oh.
Do you all chimney need sweeping? I'll take your order. Fix it up sometime next week.
Sir, I'm looking for a place for my aunt and me to sleep.
Papa Doodle's is just a place.
Papa Doodle's? What's that?
It's an inn, and people are coming in and out all day. Some sleeps there, some eats there, some just drinks there. I'll take you all right over there, all the way for just a couple of picayunes.
Anything else, ma'am?
No, thank you.
Boss Tim, I ain't gonna fool nobody at this hotel. Anyway,
You've got to stay here till I find out about the steamboats.
Oh, look here, Master Tim. Let's forget all about them steamboats. Besides, I ain't going nowhere and leave you behind.
Yes, you are, too. You're going up north till I get things fixed so Mr. Dill can't sell you.
But they're sure to catch me on a steamboat.
No, they won't. Remember, you're a white lady and you're deaf and dumb.
Master Tim, does I look like a white lady? And if it's deep and dumb, how am I going to tell the folks on the boat just what I want?
Well, after you've started, maybe you can make out you're a roustabout.
Now, that's going to look mighty fine. I goes into the cabin, a white lady, and it comes out a roustabout.
It's a little before the usual breakfast hour, but the convenience of the guest is always the first consideration at Papa Doodle's. Jasper.
Yes, sir.
Breakfast for the young gentleman.
Thank you very much, Mr.
Bouton. Jacques Bouton, the present proprietor of Papa Doodle's Inn, the most famous hostelry in all of New Orleans.
Can you tell me about steamboats?
Steamboats?
I mean, where do you find out about going on them? You know, and getting cabins?
You are contemplating taking a trip?
Well, not me, just, my aunt.
There is a treat in store for the good lady. The floating palaces which ply the mighty Mississippi are to be found at the foot of the street, at the head of which is Papa Doodle's Inn. Ah. I trust I've not kept you waiting too long, young sir.
Oh, no.
A feast fit for the palate of the most discriminating Epicurean. Mush.
Young master ain't told us how you like your eggs, so we done brought all three. Boiled, fried, and scrambled. And Master Bouton. That's right. Reckon we just got to let her take her pick. Reckon she likes her privacy. How come she keep that veil on all the time? I don't know. She must be in deep mourning or something. I moaned 9 years with my mother, but I didn't moan that deep.
Can I get you something more to eat, Master Dill?
No, I don't want anything more.
Yes, sir.
Say Timothy's in his room?
Yes, sir, Master Dill, yes, sir.
Still sulking, I suppose.
That's right. Still skulking.
How's it you're serving me this morning? Where's Caton?
Oh, Caton, he's skulking, too. You'd better have something more to eat, Master Dill.
I don't want anything more.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Tell Timothy I'd like to speak with him.
You sure you won't have nothing more?
I told you I didn't want anything more.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What you gonna do when they find out Uncle Caton and Master Tim done gone? What you gonna do then?
Hush your mouth. By the time they find that out, it may be in the middle of next week.
No, ma'am. They's gonna find out right away.
Jonathan done already missed the horse and carriage, and he said he gonna tell that to Master Cass.
You say something to Jonathan?
He just asked me who took the carriage, and I just say an old lady.
What you say that for?
I didn't tell no old lady it was Uncle Caden.
What you say anything for? You and your big mouth.
You know, it's a great pleasure to have serviced you and your estimable aunt.
Oh, thanks.
Will the good lady be gone long?
Why, I don't know, Mr. Bouton.
Well, I trust there are no problems of any magnitude troubling you. If there's anything I could do to relieve your mind, just let me know.
Mr. Bouton, when somebody dies and another man is taking care of everything, you know, the
You mean the executor, my boy?
Yes, sir. Can he do anything he wants?
Now, I'm not familiar with the laws of all the states, but under those of the Commonwealth of Louisiana, the executor has, subject to the approval of the court, of course, full power of sale and barter, exchange or conversion of any real assets appertaining to the estate.
You mean he can do anything?
In effect, yes. Unless, of course, he should be dishonest.
No, I don't think he's dishonest.
Well, then perhaps you're just borrowing trouble. There you are, my boy. Correct down to the last picayune. No, just a moment. One picayune too many. Ah, the most beautiful lady in all Louisiana. Allow me to introduce you to my wife. This young gentleman and his elderly aunt are spending a few days under our roof.
How do you do,
Timothy, ma'am.
how do you do, Timothy?
How do you do, ma'am?
I've just learned with regret that this kind old lady upstairs in her suite is both deaf and dumb. I'm at a loss to know what to do to entertain her.
Oh, don't worry about my auntie, Mr. Bouton. If you'll just excuse me, please, I must go down to the wharf.
Well, perhaps your aunt would like to be shown the shops. Or drive around the city while you're gone.
No, you see, she's very nervous. She's always happier when she's left alone and quiet.
He's a strange lad. Wonder what's back of it all.
40 field hands, eh? Can we get along with 20?
Easily.
You like a little brandy?
Don't mind if I do.
Caden.
Yes, sir.
Bring some brandy.
Yes, sir.
How about 9?
No, we can spare them.
Cotton warehouse. 20 hands, eh? We can cut that in half, too. I'll sell off 10. What are you doing here?
Caden, he's still skulking, sir.
I've decided to sell Caden. Too much interference. Sugar cane and syrup. Sugar's done for the season, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Sell them all. I'll arrange for the sale when I'm in New Orleans tomorrow. Now, let me see. The big house. Gumbo, Janie, Carolyn, Caden. Say, by the way, where is Caden? I haven't seen him all morning.
Oh, neither have I.
Or Timothy either. Come along.
New master gonna sell all the slaves. What you say? They're gonna sell all the slaves. Let me get out of here. I got to tell everybody. Get up, Revelation. Get up. New master gonna sell all the slaves. New master gonna sell all the slaves. New master gonna sell all the slaves. New master gonna sell all the slaves.
What's that you said, boy?
New master gonna sell all the slaves. New master gonna sell all the slaves.
They ain't gonna do that. We'll pay to the law.
Excuse me. Ah, my boy, did you secure your accommodation on the steamboat all right?
He said the boat doesn't leave till tomorrow.
Ah, then we'll have the pleasure of your company for another day.
But you should have told Mr. Cass or me immediately when you noticed the carriage was gone.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry, sir.
I think you better include Jonathan here on that list, Cass.
I didn't do nothing, Mr. Dill. Honest, I didn't.
When I get my hands on Caden, he'll be the first one on the block.
If I just got to stay here till tomorrow, please let me take this dress off and be your manservant instead of your woman aunt.
Not till you're safe on that boat, Uncle Caden.
Yeah, but suppose something happens. Here I'm all dressed up in a lot of things that can't even run in.
Come in.
Good evening, madame. Good evening, my young friend. I trust my visit finds both you and your nephew in perfect health?
She feels fine, Mr. Bouton.
Eh? Oh, I forgot for the moment your aunt's sad affliction. I would like very much, if you would help us celebrate this evening the 100th anniversary of Papa Dudon's Inn. And I would feel very honored if you and your aunt would be our guests.
No news yet?
No. Don't worry, Mr. Dill. Now, I'll have them back before you return. Enjoy yourself in New Orleans.
I'm concerned about Timothy. As soon as you have word, send me news. I should probably spend the evening at Papa Dudon's Inn.
Ladies and gentlemen, a toast of welcome. For 100 years, the symbol of the warm and glowing hospitality of Papa Dudon's Inn. Here within these walls, may troubles never touch your brow. May burdens never weigh upon your shoulders. For here we offer you the spirit of true hospitality and seal friendships that endure through the ages.
Good evening, Madame Bouton. Good evening.
Good evening, Mademoiselle Pauline.
Good evening, Monsieur Bouton. We're late, but I'm so sorry. Delay was unavoidable. Monsieur Bouton, ladies and gentlemen, Lieutenant Perry and Lieutenant Dubois.
This way, please.
Good evening. Good evening. Thank you.
I'm honored.
Good evening. How charming. Thank you. Good evening. Good evening.
Who is that lady, Mr. Bouton?
That is Mademoiselle Pauline Dubini, formerly of the Comédie Française, a very distinguished actress. But confidentially...
Yes?
Oh, never mind.
She's awful pretty, isn't she?
Yes. She's one of the most exotic of the fair flowers in all New Orleans. The gentleman with her are 2 officers from the French ship in the harbor.
Some folks toil and slave, some folks do, to buy themselves a grave, but that's not me nor you. Long live the merry heart that laughs by night and day, like a Greig of mirth, no matter what some folks say.
Some folks fear to smile, some folks do, others laugh through guile, but that's not me nor you.
Long live the merry heart that laughs by night and day, like a Greig of mirth, no matter what some folks say.
Some folks get gray hair, some folks do, brooding over their care, but that's not me nor you.
Long live the merry heart that laughs by heart that loves by night and day. Like the queen of men, no matter what some folks say.
Mr. Dill has just arrived. Good evening, Mr. Dill. Welcome. Won't you join us? Good evening, Madame Bouton, Mr. Dill.
Oh, good evening, dear. Come and sit down, darling.
I'm very sorry, my dear. It took me longer than I expected.
Uncle Caton! Uncle Caton! He's downstairs. It's Mr. Dill.
Oh, my land. Let me get in them books. You positive that was Mr. Dill, Master?
Did you see him?
No. I didn't have time.
3 weeks you've been at a detestable plantation. Do you expect me to sit at home and twiddle my thumbs?
But my dear...
Why, if I'm to have no pleasure at all, Martin Dill, I'll bid you good night now.
Don't worry, dear, please. You're right, of course. But I had 1,000 things to attend to. I couldn't possibly leave earlier.
And I suppose you brought me another pumpkin.
No, my dear. Not a pumpkin. Look.
Martin, it's magnificent.
You like it?
Oh, thank you, darling.
Here, let me put it on for you.
See my new necklace, Monsieur Bouton?
A lovely adornment for the throat of a lovely woman, mademoiselle, whose beauty outshines even its brilliance. Would you join me? The best and most fragrant vintage in our ancient cellar.
Thank you.
To health, happiness, and prosperity.
Funny.
Gumbo. Huh? Gumbo. Who that? Tree, Tim, wake up. Master Tim. Shh, be quiet. Don't wake anybody up. But Master Tim. Help me saddle a couple of horses. Ain't you heard? Uncle Caton's down in old Colonel Lowry's sugar mill. We gotta get him away. But they's gonna sell us all in the morning. Sell you? Luke and Lulu, they's gonna sell my mama. Jonathan gonna be sold, and all the field hands. Gabe and everybody from the sugar mill gonna be sold. Master Dillon going down to New Orleans to get the trailer. And they're gonna sell... Gumbo. Yes, sir? Never mind the horses. Go get Uncle Caton.
You know that good man's gone to heaven.
Yes, indeedy. Gone to glory.
Amen. The Reid family ain't never, from father to son, ain't never sold a slave.
No! Never sold a one.
Oh, the foxes, they have holes in the ground. The birds have nests in the air. And everything's got a hiding place, but us poor sinners ain't got nowhere. Did my Lord deliver Daniel, deliver Daniel, deliver Daniel? Did my Lord deliver Daniel? Then why not every man? He delivered Daniel from the lion's den, Jonah from the belly of the whale, and he healed children from the fiery burning. Why not every man? Did my Lord deliver Daniel, deliver Daniel, deliver Daniel? Did my Lord deliver Daniel? Then why not every man?
Father, help him, Jesus.
Lord, bless him. Lord, help him in this hour of need.
Give us power, Lord. Give this good young master power. Oh, yes, power to save us whole slaves.
Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. A long ways from home. A long ways from home. A long ways from home. A
I can't stand it no longer. I'm trying hard, Lord, to follow down the road of righteousness, but it's too long. It's dark, and I can't see the light of day. I'm a lost sheep in your vineyard. Don't kill me. Don't kill me. Please, please.
I want to compliment you, Mr. Dill, on the orderly way in which you present this estate.
Thank you, Judge Ravenal. I'm sorry to see you indisposed. I dislike intruding on you like this, but your clerk said that you were transacting your court business at home.
Yes, haven't been in the courthouse for a week with this gout. Huh?
No. All the claims been disposed of?
Yes, oh, yes, indeed.
Everything in good shape, eh?
In as good shape as could be expected, considering Reed's absolute disregard for all business principles.
Yeah. But a gay fella.
Yeah.
Too bad he died.
Yeah, too bad.
More. Afraid, more. Okay. Get away from that foot. Here, bring me those oysters. Now, tell me, what is it you'd like me to do?
Merely a formality. The approval of the methods of economy that I've outlined.
Oh, yes, yes, of course, yes. Oh. Try this. From Papa Dudon's Inn.
Thank you.
Yes, a gift from Jacques Bouton. Sly old rascal trying to win my favor. Yes. You know, he hates to pay his tailor. I make him. Not a bad fellow, Bouton. Know him?
Slightly. But, Judge Ravenal,
Oh, of course, excuse me, certainly. There you are, sir.
Thank you.
Won't you stay for lunch?
Thank you. No, I must get out to the plantation. Good day, sir.
Good day.
And thank you again.
Oh, not at all. Gosh, get away from that foot of mine, will you?
I'm certainly glad a 100th anniversary only comes once every 100 years. Why, Timothy, we've been worried about you.
I've got to see Mr. Bouton right away.
Well, you are in trouble, aren't you?
Get away from that door. Who is it? What do you want them to know? I was up half the night.
It's me, Mr. Bouton. It's Timothy Reid.
Oh, so it's you, Tim. Well, did you pass a pleasant night?
Thank you, but...
How was your old aunt this morning?
Mr. Bouton...
And you know, I thought you'd run out on your board bill.
Mr. Bouton, would you help me?
At your service, my boy.
He's selling the slaves.
Who's selling whose slaves?
That's something dishonest. You said that...
Oh, just a minute. I said what?
Oh, Mr. Bouton, I gotta do something. Mr. Dill's going to sell the slaves today.
Mr. Dill? He's the executor, huh? Well, my boy, tell me all about it.
Yesterday I told you, but that wasn't the truth.
If the Lord's gonna do anything.
Well, I'm perfectly willing to help my boy, but I don't see what I can do.
Well, you said how friendships are sealed here.
Eh?
In your speech last night. Friendships that endure through the ages.
Of course, yes.
Well, if I ever needed a friend, Mr. Bouton, it's right now.
Yes, but what can I do?
He's right. Does Mr. Dill seem like a man who would not betray a trust?
That sudden affluence of Pauline.
Yes.
And the necklace last night.
Yes.
No. The slaves are an asset. He can sell them any time he wants to keep the estate solvent. I can't do anything.
Nonsense. Martin Dill isn't the kind of a man to have choice affairs anyway.
I know, my dear, but it's a very delicate situation. Good morning, Mademoiselle Pauline.
Good morning, Monsieur Bouton.
And what brings you out so early this bright morning?
I came to arrange a dinner for 10 for Wednesday evening.
Then we must sit down. Any dinner at Papa Dudon's requires careful discussion. Permit me, mademoiselle.
Thank you, monsieur.
Now then, might I suggest oysters, clear soup, trout espagnole, a salad endive? You will, of course, leave the dressing to me, huh?
Excellent, and with your good wine.
The best in the cellar. Mr. Dill will, of course, be the host.
Naturally.
Fortunate for Mr. Dill. Might I suggest further some roast partridge and some broiled kidneys and bacon for the entree?
Surprise me.
I shall endeavor to, mademoiselle. You know, to me, you've always had the beauty of a wild rose.
A wild rose?
Oh, forgive me. I meant it only as a compliment.
Not flattery.
By no means. The business that's kept Mr. Dill so occupied of late is now less exacting?
Yes, thank heaven. He left again this morning, but it is all to be over by Wednesday.
A profitable enterprise, apparently. Your necklace last evening. You will arouse the envy of all the women in New Orleans.
You are very entertaining, Monsieur Bouton.
Thank you, mademoiselle.
But I must go now.
You leave me desolate, mademoiselle. But I hope that in the future I shall see much more of you and Mr. Dill than I have in the past.
On the contrary. I have a secret, Monsieur Bouton. Wednesday's dinner is to celebrate a wedding.
A wedding?
Mr. Dill and I are to be married. Thursday we leave for Paris.
You astonish me, mademoiselle.
Confidence.
But of course. My felicitations.
Good day, Monsieur Bouton.
Good day, Mademoiselle Pauline. And my congratulations to Mr. Dill.
All the men, want you over on this side here. Women, want you back there. Come on, move. Get up out of there. Hurry up. I want the children down there.
Good morning, Judge Ravenal.
Oh, it's you, eh? What brings you here this time? Sit down. Peppy, monsieur. And come. A chair for the boy.
Judge Ravenal, I have the honor to present Master Timothy Reid.
Huh? And what's Bouton done to you, eh?
Why, nothing, sir.
Yeah, Timothy Reid, eh? But not Timothy Reid of Bayou Lavelle.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Peppy, bring me that chair. Bring it over here, quick. I learned with regret of your father's death, young man.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, Oh, this gout, Bouton, this gout. A little repast for these gentlemen, Glory.
Yes, sir.
You'll join me.
Yes, but Judge, I would...
A little of the oyster loaf coffee, and I reckon a bit of mulatto rice, some tart brandied peaches, eh? And a couple of slices of souse meat. And, I tell you what, we'll have a couple of pans of cat-eyed biscuits.
But if it please your honor, this matter is very pressing. Couldn't we settle it before we dine?
What's more important than an excellent meal, eh?
Well, this is awfully important to us, Judge Ravenal.
Oh, my boy, you must conquer that fault in your character. Impatience is a bad thing. Don't you agree, Bouton?
Yes, of course, Judge, but
And dismiss it for the time being. We can talk over these things leisurely.
But, Judge, this matter concerns the disposal of Master Timothy's slaves and his happiness.
And what are you going to get out of this, Bouton, eh?
But, Judge, if it wouldn't tax your good nature too much, and if only you could find it within the magnanimity of your nature to intercede, I feel sure that this matter could be disposed of.
Well, we'll see what we can do about it. After we eat.
Him out. Let me see your teeth. Getting pretty old, huh?
Yeah. That's all right. Get down. Come on, Mark. Andy, you're next.
And we can't overlook the necklace and their expected trip to Europe. And even if my suspicions are unfounded, surely you can't find it in that great heart of yours to see that everything this boy holds dear in life is wantonly dissipated. Judge Ravenal, what are you going to do about it?
I intend to investigate. Here, come on.
Before you eat?
All right, you can start your sail. They're starting.
How do you do, Judge Ravenal?
Good day, Mr. Dill.
Wouldn't you like to drive right on down to the sale?
Just one moment, Mr. Dill. I want to see, who?
Uncle Caton and Janie, sir.
Oh,
But, Judge Ravenal,
oblige me, if you please, Mr. Dill.
And Gumbo.
Yes, and Gumbo.
Certainly, sir. Do as Judge Ravenal wishes.
It's just like I was telling you, sir. Old Mark Street's always said it's better to give everybody a little bit of happiness while they're still living instead of thinking of just how much they're going to make. He ain't never want to sell none to slaves, sir. I hear him say that many, many times.
He sure did, Mr. Georgia.
Mr. Dill, is this estate insolvent?
No, Judge Ravenal, no.
I've had some experience as an administrator, Judge.
There's no necessity for selling these slaves in order to meet any obligation?
No, Your Honor, no.
Mr. Dill, it's a pleasure to relieve you of your executorship. Thank you, Caton.
But, Your Honor,
I'd like to...
just a moment,
That is my decision. One moment. Mr. Dill, one more word. It's come to my notice that your knowledge of jewels is exceptional. Would it be convenient for you to be in court tomorrow at 10 o'clock in order to appraise the value of a necklace and other trinkets? Don't forget, Mr. Dill. 10 o'clock. Mr. Dill, you can be prepared to stay.
Ain't gonna be no sale. Ain't gonna be no sale. Master Dill is going to jail.
Ain't gonna be no sale.
What'd you say, boy?
Ain't gonna be no sale. Master Dill is going